Right, am I live? Am I live? Am I live? Still coming in. Okay. Oh, okay. I can't see myself yet. I think it should be live. There we go. Hey, what's up, traders? Welcome back to Forex Gym. Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, depending where you are. I hope you're having a great day. And my name is George, and in this video, I'm going to be analyzing these four currency pairs, which I mentioned already in the chat box. This is a live daily Forex analysis for the 17th of April. So I'm going to jump in and go through these four currencies. Also, if you're new to this channel, I'm making this live daily Forex analysis Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. UK time. If you have any questions, you can pop it in the chat. And if you want me to analyze any particular currency which is not mentioned in here, just please let me know and I will try my best to have a look at it. I don't want to keep this video not too long. Try to keep it as half an hour. So if you got any questions, leave it in the chat box and I'm going to be addressing them very shortly. So without further ado, we're going to jump into the trading platform, which I'm going to use a trading view and start with the euro against Australian dollar. All right, let's jump into the trading view. So I want to start with the daily time frame here. So we have this nice trend down. The price is going down nicely, but we had was it yesterday? No, day before we had this bullish up bar, which is pretty much a retracement, and I'm waiting for the get onto the short. I believe it was a short side. Yeah, it was a short side, but we need to go to the shorter time frames to analyze. I was looking at earlier for the potential trade, but it did not really set it up. I do manage to get one trade on the US dollar against Japanese yen, but I was also looking at the euro against Australian, but it did not really set up yet. But there's still an opportunity for this one to set up if this one's going to let me to do it. Okay, it's not loading that well. Okay. So the earlier I was looking for, I do believe it was just up here, but it did not set it up. So I'm looking for this one to a short side place, of course, because the main trend is for the short-term trend as of the 4-hourly time frames and even the daily time frames goes is pretty much down. I do believe the bigger time frames are up, but for now, we're going to concentrate for the short term. As of the day trades are concerned, we are not looking for the swing trades. So for now, I'm waiting for the price. I believe it was, I wanted to go a bit higher. Let's go down to the 1-hourly time frame. I do think earlier, if it's going to load and let me discuss this. Loading too long. Okay, so earlier I was looking for this one. I wanted the price to come up these somewhere around these highs, but we can see that it did not really get into that. It got pretty close and left this inverted hammer in here. So I do want to wait and see what he's gonna do. I do want to see a bit more retracement because if I take the trade somewhere here, then the stop is gonna be way too wide, and this is euro against Australian dollar, and then this currency moves a lot. So I do want to wait a bit more, see if it's going to come up. Hopefully it will come up a bit more, maybe in the next hour or two. Around this level here, then I will be looking for the short side plays. But again, I don't want to see anything strong. I don't want to see any too much strong strength coming into the bullish side. So I don't want to see basically something like this candle, this bullish candle here. I don't want to see anything like this. If that, then it would mean that there's a lot of strength coming in, so price might continue to go higher. So for this one now, I want to see the price to come up around at this area, which is at 171.40 zone. So about this area here, then I'll be looking for the short side plays. As of the stop loss goes, so 171.40 for the stop loss. We're gonna look for 35 pip stop loss. About 35 pips. You can give it a 40, but I think 35 is more than enough. So if we leave the stop loss about here, would be above these highs. That should be more than enough. So if the price continues and it gets stops us out, then that means that the price probably going to continue go even higher. So I want to be interested in that trade. But for now, I want to see a bit more retracement, bit more upside before it before I go into a short side with the 35 pip stop loss. And if it's going to load again, then I'm going to discuss the potential targets on it. Yeah, I don't know why it is taking so much time to load. I just checked the internet; it was pretty strong, or at least when I checked it about 10 minutes ago. Okay, so it's back to the business. So for this one, we're looking 35 pips stop loss, and for the target, let's go to the 4-hourly time frame and see what the target's gonna be. I think target's a bit further down. So 35 pips stop loss. So we're gonna be aiming for at least 105. At least personally, I will be aiming for 105 pips as of the return. But if you want to 70 pips, that is also justifiable as it stands of 1 to 2 risk reward. Okay, I do think we need to go for the daily time frame on this particular case. Because I don't see any lows on the left apart from the should be on the daily time frames, but then again this one takes too long. I really don't like when it does that. Okay, don't really have too many programs open apart from the MetaTrader. Yeah, just bear with me a second for you. This the internet is being funny a bit for no reason. Okay, it takes too fucking long. Why? Okay, fine. So for the targets, I do think if the price already tested down here, so it's been already tested. So if it comes down again, there's a good chance the price is gonna break this this area here and come down. I would expect to come down at these lows down here. So for the level is at around at 168.20 zone. 168.20. So if you're gonna get on at 171? Oh, I don't remember what was the level, but the risk reward works out pretty good. So 168.20, that's quite far away, which works out pretty well for us as of the targets goes. So let me have a look at the entries again, which one I said earlier. When you look at these so many trades and you just analyze, the good thing is if you write the trades down, let's say you see a potential setup, it's good to always write it down either on your spreadsheets, or you can have, if you have something like this one, the yellow pads. I do like to write on the yellow pads as well. That really helps to keep in track. So if you're looking, let's say 4 or 5 trades, 5 potential currencies, and you don't write it down, then it's so easy to forget. So make sure to write it down either on your spreadsheets somewhere on the internet or the yellow pads. It really helps to because you're gonna miss out. You can't remember all of these trades. It's just too many. Your brain not gonna handle that much. Yeah, let's get rid of this. So the entry was 171.40, I believe. So we're gonna run it to 168.20. So the risk reward is very good. But again, we want to wait, and for this one, probably this and next hour. So you're probably gonna take this until the next hour. So in 2 more candles. So this candle and next candle. So this, we need to wait for this one to close, and for the next one, ideally it comes up around this area, and I don't want to see any strength like similar to this this bullish candle. So that would be for the euro against Australian dollar. Let's move to the next currency, which was the US dollar against Canadian dollar. The CAD. US dollar Canada. Canada, how many in? So about 10 minutes it took me to analyze one currency for you. So on this one, yeah, this was a couple of currencies I was looking earlier. It was about 5 or 6 Generally, my routine is when I look at the currencies, I just go like one by one and then check if I see something interesting. Then I write it down either on the notepad or on the computer. So it depends what's going on. Sometimes there's no trade you're particularly interested in, so especially today's Friday, so you might not be as great opportunities as also there's no major news out today which will potentially impact the markets, so you might just chop around and don't do much, so you might want to wait for the next week. So US dollar Canada, starting from a daily time frames. So we get this still looking down as of the trend for the short term one, and for the only thing I don't like this bullish candle here, this daily time frame bullish candle, because looking very strong, so I'm a bit concerned about that. So let's have a look at the shorter time frames. Let's go to the 4-hourly time frame, see what we have in here. Even though that bullish candle, it's still looking down, so I do want to see, again, the price is coming up on a 4-hourly time frame, so it does look strong, but I think it's more like a waiting game on these currencies here. Let's see what it's gonna do. Let's go to the 1-hourly time frame. It's a bit clearer on the shorter time frames. Yeah, see how it's gonna perform, and if we see any potential play. I was looking earlier, then I saw okay, yeah, I was looking earlier if the price was coming up to this one, but for now it's starting to look pretty strong. So obviously the candle is not closed yet, so we're gonna wait until this candle is closed. What was I looking? Right, so we got this one. I believe there is a pivot up here. I can't really put it on the trading view. I don't know. I probably need to look at it and see. But there was a pivot somewhere up here, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see what it's gonna do after this one takes out these highs here. And if it closes not too strong, now it's looking too strong, but it has another 45 minutes before this candle is closed. So a lot of things can happen in that time. Certainly I don't want to see anything strong. I don't want to see anything like this one. Then I will be looking for the short time place for this one. I want to see the price taking out this high here, and then it's more of a waiting game. So I want to see this candle closing somewhere down halfway around here, maybe even down here. So I don't want to see this demonstrating too much strength. So did it take out? No, it hasn't taken out this high. We got this spike here, so I want to see the price taking out this spike high here, and then I would be looking for the short side after this candle is closed. So at 9 a.m. UK time, so in about 45 minutes, if we see that not much of a strength on this candle, then I will be looking for the short side. If not, however, then I'm going to leave that currency alone for the time being, and I might even switch it to the long side if the price, if it comes up around here and demonstrates more strength, then I'll be switching to the long side. But for now, my view is more of a short term on the short side rather than long side. So I do want to see a bit more on this one. So certainly for this hour is going to decide whether I'm going to take the short trade or not. So as of now, if it closes somewhere down here, then we're going to use the shorter time frame, ideally 15 or half an hourly time frames, and then as of the stops, let's see, for the entry, let's just probably assume, because I can't really say the exact, it's just more kind of based, because the trade is not set up completely. You can't really just I can't really just guess like exact number. So let's assume that we're gonna get on to somewhere here at 140.60, just for the sake of the number. And for the stop loss, probably gonna look about 25 at the very minimum. No, 30 pips. Yeah, we're gonna look for the 30 pips stop loss on this one. Again, we need to wait for the candle to close, and I don't want to see anything like the candle looks present at the moment. So anything somewhere halfway or just about here. I want to see the wick, this candle leaving a nice long wick. Then I will be taking the trade. And as of the 30 pips stop loss, let's have the targets. See what's gonna do. So for the targets, it's gonna continue for the targets. Let's look at the targets. So for the targets, the price already been down here, so it's gonna have it's having that reaction down to these because price came down and tested this low here. We got nice the support here, and then it's bouncing up. So that's a result of this candle. And now I do want to see if it comes down again. I do expect for this one to break the area. Will be down to this low here at 139.60. So we were looking what, 100 pips. Yeah, we were looking 100 pips as of 30. Yeah, it's more than 1 to 3 risk reward, which is pretty good. So this one's gonna be the target, 139.60. We got down to this. We got this spike here. Also, we got these lows. So that's, and also this high. So it's a decent enough support down here for the price to either stop. So that's a decent enough for the target. There's a lot of price action going on. So more than 1 to 3 risk reward, which is good. That's what we aim for. So we take 30 pip stop loss, and our target's gonna be 100 pips. So that's good. Only if I want to emphasize on this one, because this candle, I want to see the close of this candle. So do not attempt to take the trade, just jump into the trade before the candle is closed. So I do want to see the close of that candle. So for now, it's looking good now. So let's jump into the following currency, which is Australian dollar against US dollar. Aussie against USD. Aussie USD. Aussie US dollar. Again, loading. The loading time is a bit annoying, but we can do that. Right, let's jump into the daily time frame and let's discuss what we have in here. I'm gonna need to always start from the higher time frame and then cut it down to the shorter time frame, depending what type of trader you're. If you are day trading, I use the day trading for my daily. So basically, I start from daily time frame if it's a day trade, and daily, 4 hourly, and drill out to the 4 hourly time frame. That's the 3 time frame I'm looking for the trends and for the potential setup, and then there is another time frame I'm looking for specifically for the entry. So that's like a kind of checklist in a way. So you just go one by one. So we are on the daily time frame on the Australian dollar against the US. So the price came up and had this reaction on this trend line, had this nice reaction, and kind of now it's coming up, back up. But the way it's coming up now is looking pretty weak. We had this yesterday's candle. We left this as hammer, and now it doesn't really show as much of a strength. But the overall, the daily time frame, the trend is up, but I do believe on the weekly time frame, it is down. Let me just double check. It's important as well. When you check that, you might want to, if you're planning to leave it for a longer term to run it. Okay, the weekly time frame is down, but because we have for the last week we have this nice strong bullish candle, I might not leave it too long for the. Let's say if we take the trade here, I might depending what I decide and depending on how the price action is performing, I might leave it not as long to run it. So if it was not this candle here, I might just leave it to run it down to this weekly low. But because we have this nice strong weekly bullish candle here, and also the 2 weeks before that one, I might just leave it to run it to somewhere maybe down here. Let's see what we can what we can do in here. So let's go to the 4-hourly time frame and see what we have on a 4-hourly chart. Okay, loading again. This. Okay, on the 4-hourly time frame, we had in the last, not the last 4 hours, but 4 hours before, we had this price coming up. The price came up and took out these highs here. We can see that these highs are above these highs, so the price taken out that high, and now it's having this reaction in here. So let's see. I might want to see a bit more confirmation towards downside before I take the trade towards short side. See what we have on a 1 hourly time frame here. Okay, so the price is coming down. Okay, I do want to see a bit more follow through towards downside, maybe down to here. If the price comes down, ideally taking out these lows down here for sure. Ideally the price comes down and takes out these lows here. We also have this low down here, so if it comes down and shows some strength, which is similar to this candle, and maybe stops in here and closes also similar to this one, then I will be looking for the retracement up somewhere, as the retracement goes somewhere around, so let's say the price come down somewhere here, so take out that low, which is a 63.20 zone, then I will be looking somewhere around this area. Let me get a bit closer, see what we have about, maybe a bit further up, because so we get these highs. I do prioritize this one as of the, I mean, this could act as a resistance if the price comes down here and then retraces, but I do think that the more resistance it creates if it's the highs rather than just lows by itself. So for this one we would be looking about, yeah, about 63.40. So if the price comes down and closes around 63.20, then I want to see about 20 pip retracement towards these highs here, which is at 63.40 area there. So we have these around these highs here, so it should be decent enough to take a trade towards short side, but that's if only sets up. For this week is a bit the market has been all over the place, playing around. I took a couple of trades which they have not worked out, but I mean that's also the part of the game. But they're a bit all over the place, so you might just looking at this, okay, this looking good, and then the price might do something else which completely changes your mind. So then it's not as good for the when the virus thing started. I mean, not the good news, but for the markets that was pretty volatile and it was moving a lot. I do like to when the markets are moving, because you can take the trades, you can take a lot of trades when the markets are volatile, and you can get also that instant feedback, which is good. Right, so on this one, as I said, so I want to see the price come down at 63.20 zone, and also a nice strong close, and then a retracement to these highs here. So 63.20, nice close, a retracement up to the 63.40 zone, and then we are taking the short trades in there. So let's go to have a look at the, so as of the, so 63.40, the entry, so we were looking for about 20, probably 30 pips. Yeah, we're looking 35, actually 35 pips. We're going to position this stop somewhere above this, so above this high here, so somewhere right here. So about 35 pips stop loss, and as of the targets, oops, what is that? As of the target goes, let's go to the 4-hourly time frame and see what we have. So the entry is at 63.40, I believe, 63.40. And for the targets, if it's going to load, so 6340, the target's going to be, I do think it's going to break this this zone down here. Let's see what we have. So this zone looks pretty decent for the target. We got these lows, also it's pretty close to these highs, and also up here as well. So there's a decent price action going on. So as of the target, oh no, wait, we got also this low down here. Okay, I missed that one. So we also have this low, so which could act as a potential resistance, this support. So price might stop in here. So 60 to 30 as of this one, and if you want to leave it, if the price looking good, and if you want to leave it to down to this area, you can. But for now, we'll be targeting for this 60 to 30 zone here. So we got this low down here, and also this low. So there's a potential, if the price comes down, I'm probably gonna have a reaction on this area here. And if we're gonna see mild retracement, then there's a good opportunity to add the position. If you're not gonna take it, and you can add the position, that's what gives you very good risk rewards, and then run it down to even down here or even further down. But for now, we're gonna take the target down to this area, which was at 60 to 30. So we're taking the trade at the 63.40. And we're going to run it to 62.30. So that's what gives you about 110 pips. The risk is 35, so it's above the 1 to 3 risk reward, so it satisfies the requirement of the risk reward. So that's pretty good. Let's move to the I believe last currency. Yeah. New Zealand dollar against US dollar. Let's discuss New Zealand dollar against US dollar. NZDUSD. Let's do that one, and we're gonna wrap it up. So how long has it been going already? 26 minutes. Ah, damn it. I don't want to keep it on a half an hour, but some things you just see and you wanna mention it on the video. Right, let's look at the daily time frame as always. Oops, daily time frame. We got daily time frame. Okay, we're gonna start with the daily time frame. Right, daily time frame. As of the daily time frame, the price looks like a big, the retracement of the bigger trend. Let me see the weekly time frame on this one, because on the daily time frame, this one looking up and making okay, on the weekly time frame, we had this big trend down, and it looks like it's recovering now. But let's go to the 4-hourly time frame, see how it's going to be the short-term trading, see how it's going to be. Let's wait for this one to load. And okay. So for the short term, I'm still looking more of a short side plays on this one, even though on the daily time frame the price looking up. So I do look for, definitely would give it a try. So the price already came up to this, got very close to these highs. We can see it in here. It got pretty close to these highs, but it quite did not make it. And then it already had the reaction. It might have a lot of orders, a lot of take profit orders came down already in here. And then now its price is having a reaction. But there's a good chance that the price will come up again. Might even want to take out this either this high or maybe even this spike high here. So let's have a look at the 1 hourly time frame. I think on this one again, I do want to see a bit more confirmation. Today is more like a waiting game in a way. So there's a lot of currencies I've checked before, and it did not. It's more like a waiting game. But then again, because we are so close to the weekend, it's gonna be the market's gonna be closed on that time. So it's kind of debatable. If it does not happen within the first half of the day, then it's probably pointless taking the trade on the other half of the day, because the volatility generally dies down, unless you're planning to leave the trade for the following week. So for now it's looking decent, but it has half an hour before this candle is closed. We can see that this half an hour, this 1 hourly candle for the last hour we closed as a hammer. So I do not like this one, and I do want to wait until this candle is closed. Let's see where this one is heading. So we have these lows down here. So I do want to see a strong close for this hour, and potentially, let's see, it's probably worth trying. But I'm a bit hesitant because I see this this strong move here towards upside, so that's why I'm a bit. I'm looking. This setup is not as good, but sometimes even this setup is not great. There's a few things you can do. You can either reduce the size, even though it has a potential, but the setup is not great. So either you can, if you want to take the trade, you can reduce the size, but only a bit. Do not reduce your size too much, because that will have an impact. So if you reduce, let's say if you risk 1% per trade, as an example, if the setup is not as good, then you can reduce your size for 0.75. But do not reduce your size too much, because if when you reduce it, let's say to 0.25%, and that one turns out a winner, it would not have as much impact on your account. And if the following after that winning trade comes a loser, and you just take a full position, 1% risk, then that winner doesn't really have any impact on that the losing trade you just had. So if you want to reduce it, just reduce it slightly, maybe 0.25%. So keep that in mind, it's important. For now, looking good, but we want to wait and see how it's going to go. So if it continues like this, it's definitely a good sign. And if it closes like this, then we have a potential for the, depending how far it's going to come down. So we have, either we can get into so we have this high here, we can use that one to get on, but the price needs to come down a bit more. However, if it closes somewhere around this zone, we got this zone here, I want to see the price retracing to this high here. And so this is these two potential, depending how it's going to close. For the example, we can leave it as okay, depends. It very depends how it's going to close. That's the how far it's going to go. If it comes down somewhere down to this 59.80 zone, then I'm happy to take the retracement to up to this. Actually, no, this is too close. So I do want to see, yeah, I want to see the retracement up to this high at 6,000, or the 6,000. 6,000, I think 6,000, up to these highs. Then I will be looking for the short side play up to here. So that will be the entry, and then we will be looking for a short side place, but only if it shows a bearish strength and then it retraces somewhere up to these highs, or it can be this high as well. But if you take the trade in here, then I'm gonna place this stop above this area here. So let's discuss the entries. So if you get into 6,000 at this round number, then we're gonna take the stop loss about 25. We'll be looking for a 25 pip stop loss. You do not need more than that, because if the price turns around and comes up all the way up to here, then I will not be as interested on this. So 25 pip stop loss. We're gonna get 6,000 as of the target goes. Let's do the target. See what the target's gonna be. Targets. Again, it takes time to load. So if we get into 6,000, 25 pips stop loss. Let's see, let's go a bit closer. So these are looking good. The price already came down and tested these areas, so there's a good chance if the price comes down again, there's a good chance it's going to break it, but we can use it as a target. Let's see if it's going to meet the requirements. So 6,000, if you take 59.20, then 25 Yeah, it does meet the requirement more than 1 to 3 risk reward. So we can take the profits as of the first profits gonna be at 59.20, 22, 25, around that area. Let's call it 59.20. So the this is down to this area. So basically same level as where this prior daily low we have it in here. So 59.20 is going to be the target. It does meet more than 1 to 3 risk reward requirements. So that's good. So this was the 4. Okay. So this was the 4 of the analysis. I don't see any questions, so I'm gonna leave it to to this one. So it's already 35 minutes is going on, so I'm gonna that will be it. I don't want to make it even longer. So this was the live daily forex analysis for this currency. Again, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'm making this live daily forex analysis Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. UK time, as well as weekly forex analysis and the videos about the knowledge you need, anything that will help you to improve the trading. I do pretty much daily videos I upload on YouTube, so make sure to subscribe, and also if you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. It really helps me to produce a better content. So this was it, and I will see you guys tomorrow at 8 a.m. UK time. Have a great day. And this sign out. Oh, that takes a long time. I do not like it.